The following program is sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.
Welcome to another project here on Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and we're in downtown Milwaukee at a major remodeling project centered around preserving affordable housing. Now, we have just about every phase of remodeling going on at this project, so we have a lot to cover. Now let's get started with construction manager Mark Klon from Cardinal Capital Management. Mark, a beautiful spring day here at last. Looks like you're making some pretty good headway on this project.
We are. We're moving. We started April 1st on this project and looking to have the project done by the end of September. So we have 6 months to get everything done here.
Wow, that's a pretty tight time frame that you're working on.
Very tight.
Let's begin today's show by explaining exactly what is going on here in the background.
This is a 38-unit, 70-year-old apartment building with all studios, but also has some retail in the front. We're taking 4 units away. We're putting an elevator in the middle of the building. We're changing the entrance of the building from the side to the front of the building to come in. We're putting a fitness center in there, some other amenities for the tenants, but we're also taking these 34 units and completely rehabbing the units from the bottom up. So all new heating system, all new plumbing systems, all new electrical upgrades, all new cabinets, everything is being done.
Sure, and you know, we talk a lot about revitalizing our downtowns, and there's a couple options there. I mean, you can tear a building down or you can rehab it.
Correct.
And you guys are into that rehab business, obviously, that phase of it. And this project, as I understand, is very unique because we're talking about affordable housing and preserving that for our residents of our community.
That's correct. It's a state-funded tax credit project, and this tax credit project, which most of ours are dealing with people with special needs. We have tenants in here through Milwaukee County, people that are suffering from chronic mental illness. So it's important that they have a place to stay. It's an ideal situation for them because of course they don't have cars. They're in a great location for the bus route. They can get to wherever they want and get in and out of their building. And we have caseworkers that work with them so they can stay in place so they're okay and they live fine in there. The other half of the units are going to be market rate units where people will be living, so it'll be a mixed use apartment. So we're hoping that it's going to fill up and work terrifically for everybody in there.
Well, Mark, if I'm hearing you correctly, it seems to me the goals of this project and projects like these are to provide a safe, clean environment, mixed-use living, so that these people can be fully integrated into the city and enjoy a higher quality of life.
That's correct. That is our main goal. That's what we're striving for, so to have a place to stay, a nice, safe environment to live in, a nice unit that's completed for them, a nice, safe building, where you have a fire alarm upgrades, you have plumbing upgrades, electrical upgrades. All that's important because the building is very outdated. So it will be nice when it's all done.
Well, I know just looking at the outside here, I mean, there's obviously quite a bit that you need to do, but when this is done, at the end of this 6 months, it's going to look like a beautiful, sparkling new structure.
It will. It'll be great looking when it's done.
Well, I don't want to spend all the time out here. Can we head inside and see what the guys are doing?
I would love to show you guys what we're doing there.
it's not just the units you're talking about, you're really renovating the entire structure.
We are. This was at one time a retail shop. So we now have changed this whole thing, and this is where a lot of their amenities be. This is where the elevator will go. This is where their fitness center will go. Our site office will be here. And we're making it accessible now. The building was not accessible before for them again, so there'll be a ramp in here so they can get to every unit through either an elevator or a ramp.
It has to be exciting for someone like you to be working on projects like this. I just think day to day, you look at all the tear out, the renovation that's going on. You never know what you're going to find. That has to be challenging because this looks to be, I bet it's pushing 100 years old. You probably don't have blueprints to it. So how do you go about planning a project like this and dealing with all the issues that would arise?
We don't have blueprints on here. We weren't given anything when we started, so we had to remeasure, we had to open walls, we had to keep measuring again, and we had to make our own plans to get it approved to the city of Milwaukee with their planner. We have to remove a steel beam right now, so we have to restructure this whole part of the building to make sure it's going to hold up the other 2 floors above this. So,
well, you know, a project like this speaks volumes to the tradespeople we have, especially here in Wisconsin. I know one of the requirements for this project is to hire those local tradespeople.
It is. I mean, that's important to us too. It's very important for Cardinal to keep the people that we've worked with before keep working. We love to have these guys keep coming back every year. And also one of the things we put back on all the main subcontractors in here is we ask them to hire a new employee during the project and get them opportunities to work in the trades.
Well, I think it's great that you're hiring local people, local tradesmen that can come in and help assist in a renovation of this magnitude. But how can you ensure that they're properly trained and knowledgeable enough to, you know, ensure a proper end result?
Stu, that's where the unions come in. We rely on the unions to bring in the right workers here. So we ask the unions or the contractors we hire to bring in the properly trained apprentices or journeymen. So we're still bringing in new workers that have not worked for the last 30 days. But these are also trade people provided by the unions here. The big one is Union 75, and they'll help us bring in apprentices or new plumbers in here. And it's the same with the carpenters and the same with the electrician. They have to hire somebody that we want, and we want to make sure we bring in somebody that knows what they're doing to keep the property safe and that that person does not get hurt.
Sure, and not to mention from the construction side and ultimately the end result, you're dealing with an old structure. You have to bring it up to code. You got to make sure that workforce is highly skilled, highly trained with the new up-to-date products that are being installed here.
You're right, and it's a big thing on these contractors to do this. They have to watch their new employees coming in here, who they're bringing in. But the unions are a big part of this, or have been a big help on helping us get this work done.
Well, you know, the end result's going to speak for itself. It's going to be a real asset to the community. But I like the fact that it goes much deeper than that in just what you said. You're helping the local tradespeople, the local tradesperson who hasn't worked. You're creating jobs here for them. That benefits all of us in the community.
It does.
I mean, we all talk about creating jobs. You guys at Cardinal are actually doing it.
And Cardinal loves doing that. We've not only helped people with special needs, but to keep our workers working in the community here.
Well, it's awesome. I appreciate you letting us walk through. What I'm going to do right now is catch up with Jason, one of the plumbers on the project, to get behind the scenes.
That's great. Need anything else from me, just let me know.
Role of Plumbers Local 75 on a project like this is to provide the manpower, the plumbers with the knowledge and experience to work on a project that was built in the 20s and has been remodeled for generations, and now they're trying to upgrade it to today's standards and codes. And another notable factor when they're renovating historic buildings is they like to bring people in from the community, put training involved in it. So what we try to do is we place people from the neighborhood who may have been out of work for a while, or we'll bring people in from the neighborhood and roll them into apprenticeship and start them on a career in building. And the projects being renovated like this downtown are a great way to start people off in a career in construction or plumbing.